Good morning, Vamoose. Hey, how we doing? How we doing? How was your weekend? Man, I hope it was great. Hope you had a good time. Man, we're back for another week. Let's go. Let's go. I'm telling you what, I know Mondays are hard, but we can do it. We can do it. Okay, I got a few things to cover today, so I'm going to get right to it. Listen here. So, dressed up again a little bit. Gonna head downtown, talk to my buddies, and I got to thinking, sometimes I hang out with Louie, sometimes I hang out with Vinny, and, when I'm with Vinny, sometimes we talk about Louie, and when I'm with Louie, sometimes we talk about Vinny, and I got to thinking, I don't really like it when I talk about him, we got talking about maybe some negatives, and then, the next week, Vinny comes up and say, hey, what are you telling Louie about me for? What I ever do to you? And I start feeling bad, man, I shouldn't have said that, I should have said it to his face. And, we've all been there, right? We've all been caught in a position where we probably said too much about somebody, made a couple judgment calls, and I got to think, this would be a great topic for a show. Because, man, do we ever like to judge others, right? Now, we're all about, don't judge, but boy, we do it a lot, don't we? And I'm telling you, it's hard not to. It's easy to just fall into that. So, hey, let's take a quick peek. So, of course, you've probably heard the phrase, don't judge a book by its cover. So I did a little digging. I want to see, where did this come from? We use it a lot, where did it come from? And here, as far as I can understand, it's from a book by George Eliot called The Mill on the Floss. Yeah, The Mill on the Floss by George Eliot. And in this book, one character is kind of like telling the other character about this book by Daniel Defoe. It's called The History of the Devil. But this book has got a beautiful binding. So originally it was don't judge a book by its binding, because the book looked nice, but, it was about the devil. So it was kind of like, a little bit of a clash there of ideas. So, at any rate, I thought, that's interesting. But, man, think about the phrase, don't judge a book by its cover. It's so easy. Like myself, right? You could judge me. You look at me and say, okay, this guy dresses like he's up to no good. Check. This guy drives a big car with tinted windows. Check. All right. And he talks like, he's like, part of the Gambinos or something, right? Check. So you could start getting some ideas about what kind of guy I am. Got a friend Louie, got a friend Vinny. Yeah, you can see what he's going, Like one of those guys you don't want to meet in a back alley in New York City. But I'm telling you, I'm not that kind of guy, all right? I cleaned up. I'm not that kind of dude. So don't get any ideas. But, man, it's so easy to make judgments based on what we see. And, this is interesting because right now you go on Facebook, and let me tell you, because I've always been as careful as I ought to be. And you get on Facebook and you're going, and you're looking, and you're like, how can these people believe that? Right? Especially we're talking about the president. Yeah, Mr. Donald Trump himself. Now, I ain't going down that road because it's going to create some kind of firestorm in the comments below. I don't want to go there. What I'm saying is, boy, we like to look at that guy and make judgments, and I don't blame you. So, what about this, though? What do we do with this? It's easy to say, oh, yeah, that guy's a bad guy, and I'm not going to try to defend him. I'm not going to try to, do anything with him. We're done. We're moving on because I ain't going there. But it's a good example of how we like to, we like to make judgments, and it's easy to do because of people's actions, and then where do we go? So let's take a look. Because you probably heard it been said, don't judge so you don't get judged, right? Well, that phrase actually comes from the Bible, no less, and it says, judge not that you be not judged. And that's the original King James Version there for you. Don't judge so that you don't be judged. And really what it means, it doesn't mean don't judge ever. What it means is judge with the way you want somebody else to judge you. Yeah, with the same standard you use for everybody else, yeah, the good Lord's going to judge you the same way. So you got to be really careful how you judge other people because that's how you're going to get judged. And I think that's the way it is. I see some people, pretty critical where sometimes, they get it handed back to them. And maybe it's not an accident. I don't know. But let's look at this. So when you think about it, and you think, man, I look at somebody else and I think, boy, it looks like this, boy, it looks like that, looks like they're doing this. Oh, yeah, they must be bad, But there's another problem you got to pay attention to. Don't make any judgments unless you walk a mile on the other man's, boots, which obviously moccasins, okay, it was an old American Indian phrase, but just trying to bring it up to speed a little bit. I don't wear moccasins. You don't wear moccasins, I don't think. So, boy, the judgments that would come if you did that, right? So, we got to bring it up to speed a little bit. The idea is you see somebody doing something, see somebody participate in certain things, yeah, you can make judgment calls on right or wrong. You say, that's bad activity. You murder somebody, you're a murderer, you're bad. You're not judging, you're just simply saying that's bad. Well, I mean, you're judging, but you're not judging intent. You're just saying that was a bad thing to do. But the problem is, when we go too far, we start saying, I see this, I see that. We start making judgment calls about stuff we don't know about. Or we just simply get too hard on somebody. We want everybody to be easy on us, but we're not willing to be easy on somebody else, right? So I just got to thinking, and if I want Vinny and Louie to ever forgive me, I got to, be a little more careful. You don't really want to cross some guys too much. They're twice my size, and they got a temper. So I'm telling you, I'm going to back it down a little bit. I'm going to be a little bit nicer. Make sure if I make a call, I'm doing it the right way and being nice. And I'll still be around, because I'll tell you what, those guys are worse to deal with than the Pirates a couple weeks ago, let me tell you. At any rate. All right, so that's what I got for you. I know, a little bit sharp, maybe a little bit something, dig around your roots. Hopefully get you thinking, get you think about how what you say and kinds of things you say and how we act. So what I encourage you to do, here's my takeaway. What I encourage you to do is figure out a proper way to judge, right? It's not just in anger, you're frustrated. You take a look and you say, okay, are the actions okay to bad? And how many bad actions do you have to put up with until you decide those people are bad? Well, you pay close attention, don't make rash judgments, don't make judgments too quickly, but watch, look, especially politicians, they keep voting a certain way, they keep doing certain things, doesn't matter what they say, if they keep doing certain things that clearly not in the right, hey, we can say, they're probably not a good politician. That's not a bad thing. So those kinds of things, be careful, be smart about it. Once again, something I tell you a lot, and think deep, think about it. But remember, you want somebody to be nice to you, give you the benefit of the doubt, be willing to do that to others. All right, I'm going to let you go. There's your Monday send-off. I'll tell you, if you be more careful in this area, I'll tell you what, I bet you anything people like you better, and you'll be better off for society if you're not, being one of those guys like to line everybody up and pop everybody off that doesn't do what you think, right? Do you think they should? So, all right. Thank you so much for listening. I'll tell you what, you guys have a great day. You have a great week. I'm going to be back tomorrow. I'm going to Vamoose.